Yeah. There we go. Now I'll begin our slides. There we go. Community poetry, and I'm Gina Duran, founder of the IU Hope Collective. The IU Hope Collective is an outreach that helps homeless LGBTQ youth, foster youth, refugee youth, special needs youth, and now I'm expanding outward to all peoples and all communities because it's the times of COVID, and we all are in need of some community and love and support. So I'm also the author of And So the Wind Was Born by Flower Song Press, and you can find it at flowersongpress.com. Here's my book. See, and I hope that we can all grow and bloom as community today. And I'm just going to go ahead and start by going around the room. This is also my art, by the way, because I'm also an artist, not just a poet or creative nonfiction writer. And I also have a radio show, and we're going to be listening to a little clip of that in a bit, but for one of our exercises. One of the great things about community is that we all get to learn and meet new people and learn about people and introduce ourselves. And by doing that, I would like us to also respect our community, respect everyone that's in the room. This is a safe space, but also a courageous space. So we can't be courageous if we don't allow for that feeling of safety. So I would also like to respect our pronouns as well. Mine are she, he, and they. And I've already introduced myself, so I would like to start to go around the room. Maybe we could start with Daniel. Let's see here, and I'm going to stop the share while we go around the room, so this way we can have a better picture of everyone's faces. And maybe just also share, I don't know, what you do for or with community, perhaps like whether it be art or poetry or, I don't know, be an educator, etc.
I'm Daniel Crines. I'm living in upstate California now in Nevada City. I'm a poet and a writer and wanting to make a difference with my poetry and writing, but unpublished at the moment. And right now a little bit semi-homeless with the whole up. Anyway, I have a room up here in Nevada City and it's okay, but I haven't been able to really contribute to my community as much as I would like to right now.
That's okay. I feel like you're still contributing. You're here.
Yeah.
Good. Art. That's why I included art. Mm-hmm. Connie, would you like to go?
I'm Connie Taylor. I'm in Alaska. I'm a traditional publisher, and I like to help new authors get started. I've published a number of new authors, and I really enjoy working with them.
Awesome. And are we, and remember to go ahead and say your pronouns. If you don't want to, that's fine.
She.
She. All right, thank you. Nina.
Hi, I'm Nina. I'm in the UK. My pronouns she, her, and it's lovely to see lots of familiar faces on this call, and also those of you I haven't met. I'm a poet, and I like to do a lot of the community art and poetry work, as well as like my own writing. So I'm published, but I'm also really big into kind of mixing it up with different arts and different groups. And
this is awesome. I'm so happy we have so many people from different areas. This is cool. Can we go with Chris next? Nice to meet you, Nina.
Hi, I'm Chris, she, her. I'm from Vancouver, BC, which is in Canada. And I'm also a poet writer, but for my day job, I do work with in a Vancouver community college, which is really based on communities and getting education to basically people who never thought about it or just don't have the means. And we're trying to get out there and see what we can do. And then for my passion, I do enjoy writing, but also joining workshops. And I'm just part of the poetry lab at the moment. So trying to soak in as much as I can. Thank you. And I'm happy to meet everyone.
Hi, nice to meet you. And I mean, yeah, community college, right? I mean, that's why I started. That's where I started.
Oh, nice.
Martina?
Martina McGowan, a native New Yorker who happens to live in Indianapolis. I had a collection of poetry come out last year. So I'm a poet, a writer, and I do workshops and a few other things. I paint and a bunch of other stuff.
Awesome. Maybe you can share that with us later at the end of the workshop. Maybe you can share some of your work if you'd like to.
Okay.
Andrew?
Okay, my name is Andrew. Pronouns are he, him. I stick it in the thing because it's easy. Poet, and the community is this community, the Culturama and Greater Mount Sac, and all the poets and writers in SoCal. I consider a community.
Awesome. And okay, weren't you also in Branningham's group? I know, I recognize you too.
Yeah. So I write with him sometimes. We do projects and stuff. So
Yeah, you looked familiar. All right, Camilo, am I saying your name correctly? Or Camille? Are you there? Are we going to be not joining? Okay, Maria, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm a Mount Tech student. I don't write or do anything, but I'm interested in learning to write poetry. I'm a mom and I live here in Ontario. And I'm interested, my community is where I'm involved with is immigrant rights and social justice to make the community better. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome work. Lloyd, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm Lloyd. I am now, I guess, running Culturama with John and his wife Anne in upstate New York, at least for the rest of this year. I'm a professor at Mount San Antonio College, and I write poetry.
Awesome. Will you be joining any of us in case, I don't know if Camille is going to participate, because this is a participation, a lot of it's going to be participation with each other.
I definitely can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they left. I just like, let's just do that now because you're not going to respond. We're going to ask each other questions. We're going to be interviewing each other and things like that. So let's be fair. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And my first project is just a nice little warm up for all of us, where we're going to listen to the music and write our emotional response. There we go. So it's just for you, your own personal stuff that you can write. And I'm just going to use the whole time for the music to play. Let's see here. This is interesting. I practiced with this so many times and yet now it's not playing. All right. Here, let's go here. Let's see if we can hear this first. Can you hear this? Okay, great. This is just your warm up.
Har erfarenhet er lysten
And I always like to start with this group, Sugar Ross, because they sing, they're Icelandic and they sing all in gibberish. So the meaning of the words doesn't really matter. It's just what it means to you. And that's why I like to start with them as a warm up. So I'm also a radio show host. As a matter of fact, today I have a show. I did a recording for today and everything, and it turns out it got cut short. I don't know how that happened. So I'm going to be going down to Boyle Heights anyway and and doing a whole new show and just have some people do call-ins. It's going to be interesting. And one of the most important parts about being a radio show host, and when you have guests, I have special guests on all the time, is that we have to learn how to ask questions and listen. So for right now, we're going to start with listening. We're going to go ahead and with this particular episode, I am speaking to Lydia Theon Wareeye, and she is a poet who struggled with homelessness various times in her life. Well, actually one time in her life. We shared that, we actually had that in common. And I believe that the part that I'm going to share with you, if I can see it, is she'll be discussing, oh, it's paused. Hang on just a second. I'm gonna have to start this over. She'll be discussing how she became.
You do that.
So I'm gonna just pause this for a second. I'm gonna stop the share for a second while I get this situated. Should not be able to hear me right now, can you? You can't hear me? Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm ready. I had to skip ahead. We're just gonna go ahead and listen to this now. I'm not gonna share the screen, just make it easy. So what I want you to do is just take notes while you're listening, and then you're gonna turn those notes into poetry. And you can do whatever you want with those notes. You can use keywords, or you can use sentences, whichever feels best to you, whatever you find as an inspiration to write a poem with. But all we're doing is just finding a word or a sentence, and then you write a poem from that the experience of listening. Okay.
Gina, is it playing?
Gina, we can't hear anything.
We can't.
Oh, you can't hear anything now?
No.
Oh, what happened? Okay,
I think you have to share the screen to share the audio.
yeah. Hang on. Okay. Hang on. I thought you could hear it. Okay, I'm just gonna get some thumbs up once I get this back on then, because I have to start it all over again. Okay, I'm ready. There we go.
Goal of the personality type. So, and I won't get into what personality type that is, but so like for you, your reasons were?
My reasons, essentially, I had a break with reality in a very organic way, kind of like without reason or history. I began to have oral and audio hallucinations, visual and oral hallucinations, and I didn't know that I was having these things. I didn't know what was happening inside my mind was actually not real. And my behavior became like really erratic at school. And so I got suspended from school for like 2 years because of my behavior. And I was living in the dorms, so I had to move out and move home. And then when my mom passed away, I was like, I lost my mind, literally. Like the things that were happening to me, the voices, the situations where I felt like I was demon possessed, all this kind of stuff, the whole 9 yards. I wound up like walking. I call it the walk. I walked from Pomona to wound up in San Francisco for a little bit.
San Francisco?
Yeah. I was in Santa Monica. I was in Santa Monica, and I met this couple. I was at a hostel. I met this couple that were German, I believe. And so we drove up to San Francisco together, and I would panhandle every day so that I could come up with $16 for the hostel that night. And I would do street art. I would do performance art. And I would like, and people gave me enough money so that I could pay for the room and every night. And I was there in San Francisco. I was in Corona, Pomona, Norco, Ontario. My last stop was Corona.
Is that where you met the person who you told me about who helped you?
That was in Chino.
That was in Chino.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chino. That was amazing. I was like, it'd been more than a year, and I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of. There's a library here. There's a library across the street from where I'm sitting, and I'm gonna sit here in front of this library until the library opens. Then I'm gonna go inside, and I'm going to find some place to get off the streets. I'm gonna find some sort of resource or something. And so this guy on a bicycle, Mexican American gentleman, rode by, stopped, and said, "Do you need help?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Go to this house, and this blue house, and sit on the porch. It's a porch there. Sit on it, and someone will help you." And I did it. I in my mind, I don't even know what I said, but I did that. And there was a woman that came out. I sat there. A woman came outside. She was a minister's wife, and she talked to me. I have no idea what I said. It probably made no sense whatsoever. And she and her husband helped me. They had a small little church. Church members put me up in a hotel for the night in Corona. I went to their church. Well, it was in Chino. I'm sorry. I went to their church, and they the next day they took me to the Corona Rescue Mission, which was a homeless shelter in Corona. So they drove me all the way to Corona to take me there, and that gave me an address. I was there for a little while. I was in the program there for a little while. Then I got timed out, and then I was living in Norco in a field, right next to the College Junior. But I had an address, so I applied for disability. I applied for Section 8. I applied for anything that I could apply for because I had the address, and I got it. So it was like, and it was kind of like if I hadn't have like gone back to the shelter and said, "Do I have any mail?" kind of a thing. If I didn't have the mind to do that, I would not have known that I'd gotten funding. And once I got the funding, I got 3 roommates. I had 3 different roommates, and each time that I had the roommate, I got hospitalized. After I got out of the hospital, I had an episode. I had the situations, and every time when I got back to where I was staying, they would ask me to leave. And so I finally got a studio apartment. Was there for a year and a half. Then I got Section 8, and then I moved into the apartment that I'm in now. And the reason that it's kind of like, you know, saying that the homelessness doesn't leave you. I have a cleaning problem.
Right. This is what I was hoping you would tell me about. I wanted to hear the story again. I was like, come on.
I have an issue with my with my cleaning. It's a thing where it's like I hang on to things, and it's hard. It's like it's hard to throw things out, and it's like I want to do a workbook about it. I want to do a workbook where it's like, how do you get the homelessness, the mentality out of your apartment? How do you do that so that you can have a clean, stripped, Spartan, bear down, Martha Stewart looking apartment, you know?
So when you told me this, though, this was like the first time I realized, oh my gosh, this is why I can't let go of things now. Like I used to be really good at throwing stuff out. I'd be like, I don't need this. This is just a thing.
Right.
And now it's like I have to keep things, especially mementos and stuff. Like I have to keep them in a safe space. I have to carry them everywhere I go. I even have, we talked about this, where we collect bags. And I always have bags, but it's also because I help the homeless. So I'm like, you know, I always have bags for the homeless, but at the same time, I just always like have things that I don't really need. And
Okay. I feel like that's a decent space to stop. So from right here, we're just going to go ahead and write our responses to this, whether it just be from a word or from a sentence, or maybe you are in her position, you or her maybe, or maybe it's a response that's just from the word. or from the sentence. So I'll just give us a few minutes because I'm sure you probably already began writing your notes and maybe writing something. So, and then we're going to move on to our next exercise. We'll give 5 minutes. That should be good. Are we ready? Would you like a little bit more time, anybody? Are we all good? Okay. All right. So our next exercise, I'm just going to go ahead and share the screen again because I have a little thing from Brian Sonia Wallace. He's my friend. Said that show his book he wrote, The Poetry of Strangers. And in The Poetry of Strangers, he goes around the United States asking questions at like malls and all kinds of different places. And he does interviews, and that's what we're going to be doing next. So I'm just going to use him as an example really quick. All good? Thumbs up.
We actually have both gotten out of horrible relationships. She was my brother's ex-fiance's best friend. Oh my goodness.
It's gonna sound like crazy, but her cat is on me and she's trying to hide right now the mess she is. And if there's something you can write for me that I can give her later, it's absolutely. That might be nice.
Half a heart remains at home, the half you save for smaller things, for lives beyond the purview of our human comprehension.
Something inspiring that I can kind of look at every day.
Just to remind herself that she's awesome.
So this one's done.
It's amazing. I left. How do we subscribe forever?
It's like somebody had climbed into our soul. The best parts of my relationship are now on this paper. And it's amazing to know how valued they are when they're that tangible and that they could maybe be shared. And I thought that was an incredibly wonderful compliment and an awesome gift.
And then I have one more.
And it's
Oops.
my pleasure to start things off with Lindsay Horvath, the mayor of West Hollywood.
Good evening,
This
everyone.
is weird. I don't know what's happening right now.
Pleasure to be with you.
Tech issues. Okay, I stopped the share, so hopefully you don't see that anymore or hear anything. Do you hear anything? Okay, good. Okay, so from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and have us, I don't know why, but my computer is still playing. There we go. It like started playing its own. It started playing on its own, and then it was hiding. Hang on. Okay, here we go.
Hi, my name is Brian Sonia Wallace, and I'm going to be reading my poem Heirloom. Dad always grew tomatoes. They were his pride and joy. So when the lady outside Home Depot offered me the box and said, "Do you have a garden?" I didn't say no, though I should have. I said, "We have a theater." And somehow that was just as good. It grows like a weed in Hollywood, in the cracks between film and industry. It was a grease monkey's garage, then a shooting range, but only now can we call the people who run it clowns. We put the tomatoes out on the air conditioning supply unit to try to add some poetry to that phrase. Today is tomatoes in the parking lot. Tomorrow is white roof, filtered water, solar panels, cycle racks, urban garden, green building, public plaza, artist's village, to build a cultural heritage for a city I once heard described as hell's parking lot. Tomato by tomato, because nobody dreams as hard as poets, and nobody works as hard as clowns.
So what he does is he goes around the country, and then now actually he's also in Ireland and Scotland, and he's going around and asking people questions. And he went like to the Mall of America and in different locations around the United States, and just types up stuff from the questions that he asked, and just, you know, what people tell him, stories that they tell him. So what I want you all to do is I want you to go around and ask each other questions. Let's keep this. And I'm going to just put you out in breakout rooms. And then what you're going to do is you're going to interview each other, and then you're going to write a poem from those interviews. So you in breakout rooms. Just figuring out how to do this. So let me see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that it? 9 people? So I think I can do 8. 8 people. I'll leave myself out. I'm just going to open all the rooms. It's automatically sharing. Okay. I see that I have Edna, who said they were okay with being left out.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I'm from New Zealand, so
Oh, that's okay.
it's 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's all right.
And I just joined and I just woke up, so I'm okay. You know, I didn't really get the sense of what we're doing yet. But
so it's all community poetry. So what I was doing is first I went around the class, and we did some exercises to help warm up, like with just some music, and then listening skills. And then that one video was just about asking each other interviews, and then the poem that he wrote in response to his interviews that he's done, what Brian Sonia Wallace had done. And now I'm just gonna we're gonna ask each other questions, and then you're gonna write a poem based off of the answers that we have. So you can go ahead and ask a question to me, and then I will tell you something about myself, and then you write a poem about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Brian Sonia Wallace does in his poetry. And so I can also ask you questions and write a poem about what you tell me about yourself.
Okay, tell me where you are at the moment.
Okay, I am in the United States, in Upland, California. And I am a radio show host, a poet, and a community activist.
Okay, you want to ask me? I mean, we ask a few questions, or just
yeah. You're gonna ask a few questions. Oh, are you back, Martina? Oh, you can unmute yourself.
No one came to my room, but
no one came to your room. Okay, how about you and Edna join in, and then we can all three of us write something about. She said she's from New Zealand, and it's like 6:30 in the morning right there. And she's like, I don't really know what's happening right now.
Yeah, my mind is not yet working.
Just go with the flow.
Yeah, we're just like, and honestly, there was a few tech issues. I'm like, what the heck is happening? It kind of threw me off like a few times. So, I'm doing my best.
That's okay. That's all we can do.
So, and I was saying that, let me see, what did I say? You asked where I was from. I said I was from Upland, California. and I'm currently in Upland, California, not from, and I am a radio show host, a poet, and I wrote a book, and that I'm a community activist through my outreach, the I Hope Collective.
And I was more asking, like, describe where you are right at this moment. Like,
Okay, right at this moment, in the room. Okay. In the background, I have my cello.
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Background, I have my cello, and I also have my poetry books, and I also have my yoga books because I'm a yoga instructor too, and I don't have enough jobs, right? And right here is a table, my massage table, because again, I don't have enough jobs.
Oh no, that's actually, yeah, that's lovely. Okay.
And I also have some paintings that I painted that are hanging up on the walls to decorate the massage room. And see, I have some gemstones with some feathers. And my recent experience is with this Roadrunner, and I have a Roadrunner feather. So this was actually given to me by my father like 7 years ago. And my father said that he was driving down the road in New Mexico, and a Roadrunner ran right in front of him, and he halted the car thinking, oh no, he didn't want to hit the Roadrunner, but the Roadrunner was fine, it was gone. He saw it run off, and he's like, what the heck? So he looks down, and there are feathers. There were 3 feathers laying on the ground. And so the Roadrunner left the feathers, and he lives amongst like other Native Americans, and a Navajo man had told him that he needed to give away the extra feathers, the 2 extra feathers. Otherwise, it was going to be bad luck. He can't hold on to those. So he gave one to me, and it's supposed to bring me good luck. Okay. And I don't know when that good luck is going to happen. I'm still waiting.
Well, the way I look at you, you probably are in it. In the good luck.
But recently I saw a Roadrunner, and I've never seen a Roadrunner in California. I was on a hike, and there was the Roadrunner, and then the next day a kid jumps up, and he says, because I'm a substitute teacher, he jumps up in class and he says, I'm a Roadrunner. I was like, okay, that's it. Here comes the good luck. It better start now.
Very nice.
All right. So Martina, how about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe what's going on. Where are you from first?
Originally from New York, Manhattan. I live in Indianapolis, Midwest. We've been in the Midwest probably for the last 30 years. What else? Recently retired, OB-GYN. I write some. I showed you I have the book that came out last year. I also write a blog, which I've done for the last 10 years or so. I've got 2 daughters, 3 granddaughters. What else? I paint some. What else? Oh, I do some pottery.
Oh, you're a ceramist? Very cool. So you're and a writer. So you know what I'm talking about when you like have all these things that are you. It's just like, I don't know, I think it's kind of like a collection of jobs, right? Right?
An old skit on SNL or someplace. How many jobs you got?
Right. I mean, this is the United States. It's like, how can you not have so many jobs, right? Jeez, my knees.
A few only have one. Yeah.
So you're a poet. And what about your granddaughters? Can you share a story with us about your granddaughters?
Can I share a story? So many stories. My youngest daughter, my youngest granddaughter, and I all live together, which is actually been a joy. She is 11, going on 45. She just finished doing a speech on Abigail Adams. But we get to do we get to do fun stuff, but we also get to do some math and some of the harder stuff together. So I think I'm a good shoulder to cry on when she can't talk to her mom. But her mom's an amazing mother.
Your daughter is going on to 45, is that what you said?
No, my granddaughter's 11 going on to 45.
Oh, your granddaughter's 11
Yeah,
going on to 45. Okay. That makes more sense.
No, my youngest daughter actually just turned 40.
Oh, so she's older than her mother.
Yes. And some days wiser than either of us.
That's cute. Do you have any questions, Edna?
I'm just impressed from all the books behind you.
Well, like I said, I write, but my training is not in. No, I don't have an MFA, so I haven't done much in the way of literature. That's not my training or my natural suit, I don't think. So I'm sort of backfilling that education with a lot more reading now that I have time. A lot more reading and reading a lot more poetry in particular as I learn to write new forms and try to expand and fluff that out and see where that's going.
Nice.
Always something new to learn.
So let me see. Do we have any questions for Edna?
Well,
Sorry,
I don't
I'm
know
not
anything
even.
about Edna except New Zealand.
Right. Exactly. So you can go ahead and ask some questions now.
I'm not turning the camera because it's completely dark in the room, and I'm still kind of like.
It's okay.
Just woke up. Yeah, ask me.
Okay. So what is it like in New Zealand? And from your perspective.
Okay. We are, it's summer here, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is opposite. And today is, we have thunders and lightnings, and I'm by the sea, and the sea is just about to swallow us. It has been a really tough stormy night, but we get those storms during the summer from time to time. Today is one of those days, and yeah, and it's kind of like, it feels like the one of those days that you want to stay in bed, but I love Culturama, so so I managed to wake up a little bit late, but I did. Here's a big lightning. You might hear the thunder soon. I write short stories and poems, and working on a novel for forever. But I'm writing in English, and English is not my native language, so it's a little bit challenging. And I'm a painter as well. I do painting, but recently, in recent years, I'm more passionate about writing than anything else. And I'm an art therapist as well, which I don't practice at the moment either.
You're a what?
Art therapist.
Oh, art therapist. Oh, that's
Yeah.
what I want to do.
Yeah, I like being with many hats. So that's good.
Yes, me too. I think you kind of have to be an art therapist. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to let everyone start joining back in the room, and then I'm going to give us some time to maybe write something. So
how long is this class? Because you started already.
It's actually ending already. It's already over, but we're kind of going to go over because of how many students came in and out of the class. We
Yeah.
started late because we only had like 2 people for the first 4 or 5 minutes. And so I read poetry.
And I can't stay too far over because I have
That's okay.
another
And then
commitment.
and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have us like maybe write for like maybe 2 minutes, and I'm trying to get people to leave to come join us again. I closed the big
Did you read one of your poems?
Yeah, I did. At the beginning,
Oh, shame, because how would I be able? It's recorded, is it?
Yeah, it is recorded and it's going to be shared. But oh, actually, the poem was
No,
not
what?
recorded. He didn't ask me to record until
If you
after,
want,
but
if you want, you
I can read a poem
put it in the
afterwards.
chat for me, just so I know.
Yeah, I can read a poem afterwards.
Okay, that would be great.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're all going to I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write something, finish brushing up whatever you have. And then I want you to choose your favorite line or 2 lines. And we're going to go around the room and we're just going to read those lines. And it can be from anything that you wrote from today. It can be from the personal song. It can be from the interview, and it can be from, you know, whatever. There was another thing that I was going to do, but we just don't have time because we started so late. And so I'm going to replace it by doing this. When you're done, just go ahead and give me like a thumbs up.
Gina, can I just check what we're doing? Because my breakout room thing came in halfway through your sentence. Are we just finding a line from something that we've written?
Yeah, from something that you wrote from the workshop, and we're kind of do a more of an exquisite corpse type of thing. It's close to what I was going to close up with, but that would take us way longer. So this will be faster. And then Edna wants me to read one of my poems again. So who am I to deny? Okay, are we ready? Did we all choose? Okay, no, you're not ready? All right. I'll give us 2 more minutes. And I'll start. Okay, so I'm gonna go first, then Kelsey, are you good with going next? Look ready. Connie, after it, Kelsey, and then Martina, and then Nina, and then Edna, Maria, then Lloyd, and then Andrew. Okay, that's how we're gonna go. So try and remember that. Did you all write that down just in case? Okay, so I'm gonna go first, then Martina, or sorry, then Kelsey. So me, Kelsey, Connie, Martina, Nina, Edna, Maria, Lloyd, and then Andrew. Okay? All right. I sat on the porch and waited until the roadrunner came, its black feathers shimmering blue in the light of my answers.
I'm cold because there's a part of me that sits alone at the bottom of my soul.
Connie?
I'm sorry, I don't have anything ready to share.
Oh, okay. Martina?
So the crux is not in learning to let go, because that will happen whether we want it to or not, but in learning to share, to unburden ourselves of our isolation.
Nina?
Go to the blue house, sit on the porch, watch time caress the sky with color.
Edna?
Okay. Wherever the road takes me, I will be a road runner.
Maria?
I'll pass, sorry.
Lloyd?
Sunrise, sunbeams seeping through the thin drapes, unfolding my toes, dissipating the last lingering sounds of a dream, and I can no longer recall why I woke up laughing.
All right. When it's sunny and you can look up into the blue sky, pretend it's August, but it's still cold and chilly outside.
Beautiful. Thank you all. I think I feel like it still stayed all to theme the whole time. I love that. I love it when exquisite corpses work out. Even when the people said that they weren't ready. It still works.
Yeah, that did kind of work.
Hey, I know I'm not ready. That's what the Roadrunner was about. And then I was, and I'm like, I'm ready. Come on, let's give it to me. All right, so we can go ahead and go, and I'm just gonna go ahead and read a poem just to close it up. Let's see. I am going to read. I think I'll read one of my love poems because that one's a happy way to end the day. This one's called Lunchbox Message, the Dawn of a Sangha. Sometimes I want to lay in the wind to feel its arms wrapped around me again, because sometimes I smell the aroma of you in the flowers and the trees. Sometimes I want to become the particles of the solar wind and wrap my rays around Earth, because sometimes my poems are dreams wrapped up in memories of you. Sometimes I want to be the flames of stars so someone will see me. I had hoped it was you. Because when I stood in the dark with my sister and son, I wish your hand holding mine. Sometimes I want to whisper all my secrets to you. Then I remember that you are the wind, because you are always moving, and I am the great granddaughter of the dawn. I am of the sun, and I am the electrically charged particles of my dreams. And you are more than the wind or the earth. You are my friend who held me until my words became poems and letters became love messages on walls and paintings became nightscape dance floors within the aurora. And you became more than a love story in a book of my dreams. You became Sangha. And that is how this poem begins. Thank you. It's a pleasure having you all here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. You can send me a private message if you feel like there's something I could have done to help improve, like maybe my tech skills. But other than that, if you guys want to chat for a little bit, I have some time. I'm supposed to do my radio show. And if anyone wants to call my radio show, please listen. Because I need some people, because my thing got, again with the tech, but I wasn't my fault this time. It wasn't my fault this time.
Can you put your information about the radio show in the chat?
Sure. Yeah, I will do. It's called The Collective. And it's on KQBH LP 101.5 FM. And it's from 3 to 4 Pacific Standard Time. And you can also get it on internet, so you can hear it around the world. So it's on lpfm.la. Let me make sure.
Sorry, what exactly is it?
It's called The Collective, and what I do is I interview people. I'll read the thing to you right now.
But you're putting it in the chat?
Yeah, I am. And what it is I have like activists and artists and poets come on. Let me sure like I get the
Okay. Can I ask what kind of activism you do? Is it?
I help the homeless and like homeless LGBTQ youth, foster youth, and refugee youth. And I've gone to Mexico to teach youth there painting and drawing, and because sometimes there's a language barrier, but there's no language barrier with art, and
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then I also trying to make sure that I get the correct right now. So it's on www.lpfm.la. There you go. And oops, I missed one of the W's, but still.
What day?
Right now, and from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Today.
And yeah, today. As today, I'm actually going to be taking call-ins because there was a tech issue. I did a whole recording, and then the people got like only accidentally chopped off 20 minutes of my show. So I was like, oh great, 20 minutes of my show is gone now. So I have to go in now after I went in on a special day just to record the show with my friend, just so we could do a recap of all the other episodes. And now, because that didn't work out, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to take calls from people and be like, hey, do you have any questions? And my aunt's going to call. She wants to ask me about my next book. I'm like, whatever, go ahead, call about my next book. We'll talk about that too. Sometimes people are going to dictate what the show's going to be like. This is what's going to happen.
Sometimes that kind of thing happens in teaching too, where you have a lesson plan and then it just blows up, and
yeah, like today.
We'll figure it out as it goes. Thank you so much, Gina.
So is it a weekly thing, Gina?
My radio show, it's every other week. So today, and then there's not going to be one, but Quincy Troop is going to be on. So do you know who Quincy Troop is?
No.
He co-authored The Pursuit of Happiness, which was the movie that was with Will Smith. So he was in that. He was a part of that. He wrote that. He also wrote Miles and Me and a bunch of other things. He knows a lot of like musicians and authors. Like he knew Bell Hooks and Toni Morrison. So like they're really phenomenal writers, but he knew them, and he also like co-authored with a bunch of really well-known authors too. And he has his own books and poems, and you can look him up and you'll see that he's in all of the poetry. I'm like, how do people not know who he is? This is crazy. Like I didn't know who he was either. So anyway, all right, well, I hope you all have a great day, and now I got to get ready to ad-lib this show.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
wonderful day.
Is
Bye, everyone.
the next session coming up in 15 minutes or?
No, there's only one session today. our next workshop will be about 3 or 4 weeks from now in April,
April.
right before Easter or right around Easter.
Okay, okay. And what time is it now for you? 10:15?
11:15. Yeah, out here in California. So
11:15?
mhm.
Oh, all right. So it's 4 hours now.
Before Gina's.
Because for me it's 7:15 in the morning. And
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
three hours difference. So now it's did the clock change for you?
We just had daylight savings last weekend. Yeah.
Just very recently.
Last weekend. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
I can end, and then I'm not going to end the whole thing, right?
You might have to hand over.
Okay, I don't know how to do that.
If you go to yeah. There.
I'm gonna see what happens.